Before we start our meeting today, we're going to have the pledge and the invocation. Knox Bullock's here to do the Reverend Knox Bullock, out of respect, from the Bible Church to Woodland Bible Church to do our invocation. So I'd like for us all to stand and let Fran lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have several deaths in families that are related to the city, and I've asked Knox to keep them in his prayer. So, Knox, if you will.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you for this beautiful day that you've given to us. Thank you for our nation, our state, our city. And we're asking for your blessing upon all of us. We thank you for these who are willing to serve our city, these citizens who are willing to serve our city in this capacity. And we ask that you would bless their deliberations and their decisions. May they be good ones that will impact our city for good. May they sense your presence and have your help. And then we ask for your help for those that are grieving. We're asking your help for County Councilman Winter's family in the passing of his mother. And then the O'Neill family in the passing of Dick's brother Chet. And then we're asking for your help for Terry Bennett's family in her passing of her father. Would you be with each one of those, and may they sense your presence. May all the families be aware of your help. Thank you once again for this day. Bless this meeting and bless all of us here in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir.
I'll call our meeting, the Board Works of Public Safety together for the second meeting in January. Our first item of business will be roll call.
Jane Oakley. Present. Fran Schomel.
Present.
Leonard Urban.
Present.
Mike Bishop.
Present.
Ron Coldiron.
Present. All are present, may have a quorum, we can do business, let the record show. I would ask that you turn your cell phones to silent or vibrate or whatever it might be that kind of helps us get through the meeting. And then the next order of business will be the reading of the minutes of the last Board of Works meeting of January 5th, 2015.
I move, Your Honor, that we accept the meeting minutes for the meeting of Monday, July 5th, 2015, please.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second, we accept the minutes as they were printed and sent. Were there any additions or corrections? None appearing, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We have new business today. We request for a bucket drive for the Knights of Columbus, Tootsie Roll Drive, for Special Olympics on May 22nd and the 23rd. Richard?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hey, Dave.
The Knights of Columbus would like to have our annual Tootsie Roll bucket drive for the Special Olympics on Friday, May 22nd and Saturday, May 23rd. We need your permission to be out in the street at 6th and Western and at 24th and Graham, like we have been many years in the past.
We've had to change it. You have to come over to Central because 24th and Grant's all tore up out of construction.
Yeah, that's right.
But you can do it over by the fire station and over here
Okay.
in front of the bank.
24th and Central.
Do the 6th and Central and 6th and Grand.
Okay, very good.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yes.
That'll work.
You can tell how long he's been here. He's got it memorized.
That's true. See, I'm from Brookville, so.
We don't hold that against you.
It's okay. There's a lot of good people.
That's open. If you'd like to do that, that's fine. I'll take a motion.
Make a motion to approve the bucket drive for the Knights of Columbus on these days stated.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have a good one. Request for a bucket drive for Storm on March 14th. Rick Wright.
Afternoon. Here's just a
Hi.
letter. Request for the bucket drive as well. And requesting that we can have a bucket drive on March 14th at basically the same locations as was just requested. 6th and Grand, 7th and Central, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. With proceeds helping Storm Youth event.
We're all familiar with that, and it's a great program. We appreciate it. I'll take a motion if you got it.
I move that we allow the storm committee to do their bucket drive on March the 14th at 6th and Grand and 7th and Central.
Seventh and Central.
Well, that's what they requested. Do
I
we
know
need to
they're
change it? Do we
requesting
need to
those
change it?
3 locations.
You want 3
24th.
locations?
We're going to take off 24th and Grand.
Mhm.
I had 24th and Grand.
Right.
but I
Yeah,
didn't think
it's
about
under
that.
construction, you can't argue
Right.
that.
They want 7th and Central. Do we change it, or we always just keep it 6th and Central?
Usually 6th and Central.
Sixth and Central.
6th and
I
Central.
may have written that down
Okay.
wrong.
Yeah.
Is that
Okay.
okay with you, 6th? and-
Yes.
yeah,
I'll amend that to 6th and
About
Central.
6th and Grand, 6th and 7th, 6th and Central, right?
Is there a second?
Second, please.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much.
much.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Awarding of the bids, Star Development, Joyce Picardi. As you know, we opened those bids a month ago. We sent them to a committee for review, and this is the review report.
I'm here to present our recommendations. I think they're probably in your packet.
Yes.
They are? Okay, great, I brought copies. We were able to, with the dollar amount that the bids came in, they were a good dollar amount, so we were able to do most everything for the homeowners that we had developed in the original scope of work. So, as you can see that D.O. Korn and Sons is receiving quite a few addresses. We have met with him to state, you know, this still has to be done in a timely manner. And he has done these types of projects with other entities previously. We have never personally worked with him before. So he assured us that he has the capability, I think he's got 12 employees, so he has the capability of getting all these addresses done in a timely manner.
Where are they located?
Where is he, yeah, where is he located? Excuse me,
Rushville.
Fran, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Rush
thanks.
it up. Aluminum Brothers is located in Richmond, and so is Hopkins Home Improvement. We had Taylor's Home Center. They did bid, but they were not the lowest bidders on the project. And another local one that we invited to bid was Dunsel Home Improvement, and he did not present any bids, did not submit any.
No, so those were the only 2 local ones we had.
Yes,
Okay. These were the lowest bidders in all occasions.
yes.
I'm disappointed. I was hoping we'd get more local bidders. We need jobs here.
Well, I think Dunsel, I think he was sick, and he ended up trying to submit it a day after it was due, so he got kind of confused on that. Now, like I said, Taylor's just was not the lowest bidder.
All right, committee, or board, we have to make a decision on here. They're going to spend total funds of $203,102. That's a pretty good deal for the city of Connersville to get that much work done.
And the number of houses again is, Joyce?
14.
Okay. Why would we accept the bids as presented here today for this rehabilitation project for homes in Connersville?
I'll second.
Motion and a second, we accept the bidders, Aluminum Brothers LLC, $21,071. D.O. Korn and Son Incorporated, $162,432. Hopkins Home Improvement, $19,599, a total of $203,102. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
What was the city's share in this too?
Around 3,000,
Yeah.
3,200 and something.
Yeah.
We haven't been appropriated, but I
Right,
don't
and,
remember right
and
off the
this
top of
is
my
all
head.
grant funds right now, because I want to try this and spend the grant funds before
Okay,
we do the town.
Was it 1% or 2%? I forget. Well, wasn't we?
I can't remember what
We
it
did a
was, but
little,
it's-
we did a little over what we absolutely had to do, but I can't remember.
That's
Right,
right, we did.
right, it was around, it was 32,
I wanna say
3,500,
yeah.
something
But
like that.
it's appropriated.
Yes.
Okay.
should we read the homes, or is that necessary?
Whichever. you want to do.
Okay, I'll read them. The Aluminum Brothers, 318 West 17th, D.O. Corn and Sons, 2224 Virginia, 109 South Grand, 216 West 11th, 2315 Vermont, 215 Holly, 119 Fountain, 2405 Vermont, 1112 Houghton, 1028 Grand, 3330 Beeson, 1500 Conwell, 1830 Boulevard Place, Hopkins, 904 West 10th.
Do you have a cap, ma'am, on how much you spend on each house? Because these numbers vary from 21,000 down to like 8,300 or...
It is whatever is needed. It's awarded according to the need of that home.
Okay.
With the two that's 8,300, on the scope of work, they were able to get everything that was on their scope of work for that dollar amount. So it's according to the need of
Okay,
that
that's
dwelling.
Before we vote, Joyce, you and I both know on the last round, some of them drove us nuts. And I was a little worried because of our insurance. Our insurance does not cover malpractice for the city on a home. Are we protected? Are you going to give us an insurance certificate, right?
The contractor has to provide liability.
For each subcontractor.
Yes, liability and workman's comp.
What I'm worried about is the assurance, because we have no assurance, and as you know, on that last one, the only thing I could do is go up there and try to talk them into it. So, do we have anything that we can do that guarantees that this work will be done according to the standards?
It's just in the contract with the contractors that it has to be done according to the state and local codes.
Okay, is that contract with you or with us?
It's with you, but we sign on your behalf. It's a no-lien contract. We do a no-lien contract so that it protects the homeowner. So if the contractor is fired from the project, they cannot place a lien on that home, because that's what the city will do. Now, if I would have known prior to this, because this wasn't in the bid specs, but we could have had a builder's risk insurance, which would have been above and beyond just the liability and the workman's comp insurance required.
I don't know two of these contractors. In the past, I've known the contractor.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened, we had a contractor, we did a job, and the people didn't accept the roof. They didn't accept the floor in the bathroom, and we had about a month of wiggling around trying to get out of it, and I was afraid the city was going to end up having to put a new roof on that house. I was trying to get away from that so that could never happen. But maybe, John, we can apply something to our insurance just for that period of time.
That would be possible. We'd have to discuss it
Okay.
with Wilson Lawson Meyer.
When you're doing this much work for different people, a lot of times they don't see the work done the same way as other people see the work done. But we appreciate everything you've done, and I think this is a wonderful program, and we'll work on it, see maybe we can buy a policy for very little money outside of that will have builder's risk in it.
Because we could have had made certain that the contractors were bonded too. The bonds are not required in any way because of the dollar amounts.
It's too small.
It's too small, and we award according to address, so it's, it does not fall in that criteria. But that was something that could have been done. But it knocks a lot of contractors out.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Let me ask another question, Mayor. Ma'am, when you say you signed on the city's behalf, does that relieve the city of the liability part of it?
No.
It does not.
No, ultimately, the city, it's your grant. You are liable for
She's
all
our
of it.
administrator. She's our grant administrator.
How are your contractors paid? Are they paid on completion?
They are paid, they have
Excuse me.
two times that they can be paid. Once they start on the project, on the address, they are allowed to get 50% of their contract amount. And then they cannot get the final 50% until it's inspected and they pass a lead clearance test.
Okay, so there is a 50% withholding then until it's signed off on, so that kind of helps
Yes.
a little bit there.
Joyce, who does the inspecting?
The city has inspector, Mark, with our firm also inspects, and then at the, there's 2 inspections from the state of Indiana, from Indiana Housing that comes out and inspects it too.
Okay.
And the roof that he's referring to also passed all inspections.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it was a good roof, it was.
What's happened is, on some of the roofs in the old days, they would sheet it and leave spaces in between. You've all seen that. And then they would put the shingles over that. Well, then when we did this roof, we put plywood over the top of that, and the people didn't agree with that. They wanted those boards tight together and then the plywood put over the top. And that was not what the contract called for. But we were almost in a lawsuit arguing about the thing, and finally we got it fixed. And so then I would like to have a little builder's risk, because you're dealing with $203,000. But I'll talk to John, and maybe we can just put a rider in that policy to cover these.
So also what we have done with the scope of work is if there is split sheeting, which that's what it's called, that they do have to put brand new decking on,
Over the top.
over the top.
They don't have to take the split sheeting off.
No, they don't have to.
See, that was our problem before.
I think, well, it was just that there was a few nails that went through.
Oh, let's not rehash that. That was a nightmare.
Right, yeah, it
No,
was.
you could require your contractors to have an errors and omissions policy too, on top of their.
I don't think she can change it now that the bids are in and it's all done. We have to go with
That
the
would
bidding.
protect us without having to cover another insurance. So you might look at that in the future.
Right.
We appreciate everything you've done, and I know this is a wonderful thing for the people of Connersville. We have a motion on the floor. We have a second. Is there any further discussion?
Motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. You're ready to go, Joyce.
Well, I also wanted to say, as you can see at the bottom, we still have a little over 62,000 remaining in grant funds, plus the city's funds. And so we received a lot of applications, so we will be reviewing more applications for more people to participate.
That's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Will you bring that to us, Joyce?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have to take bids on those.
Yeah,
We'll have to bid each one of them.
yeah.
Okay.
So it'll be done in the same process
I
as we
see.
did this.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Now also, we're required to look on the SAM's website. There's 2 websites to check to see if any contractors on the blacklist or cannot bid on these projects. So I have done that and give you a copy of it for your files.
All right.
Thank you.
Joyce.
Thank you.
Pleasure working with you. It really is.
Well, same here.
Okay, this is an approval of the annual Spillman Maintenance Agreement with the Police Department. This is the software that takes all of our court and police records down to the court and into the court, clerk of the court, does all that. It's very complicated software, and it has to be upgraded each year. I need an approval to approve that.
I move that we accept this from Spillman, Your Honor, for $18,116 for the yearly maintenance of the police department software.
Is that the same as it was last year?
I doubt it, it's probably a little more. Usually is.
Should have asked. Is there a second?
I'll second.
A second. We have no choice. We have to do it. That's what keeps everything running. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. This is a new one to me. This is approval of annual Alpha Video Maintenance Agreement for cable TV. For some reason, I don't remember that.
I think we've had this in the past.
I called John on this,
Yeah.
Mayor, and it has something to do with the primary bulletin system through Channel 3.
It's a yearly thing.
It's a yearly
It's our
thing?
It runs everything pretty much, our main system.
It's $595 again.
Hasn't changed.
I move we approve the payment to Alpha Video for the annual agreement.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. This is Parks Director. Where is she? Jesse? Don't take after your former director and hide in the hall, please. Jesse's prepared this letter. It's in compliance with the committee that met last year. I want authorization to sign it for the Board of Works. Jesse's already signed it.
Would someone like to read it? So,
I'll let you, Fran.
okay. January 14th, 2014. Should that be 15?
Yes, yes.
Regan Street Youth Center, due to the request of the Board of Public Works, the Connersville Parks and Recreation Department will not be renewing the facility usage agreement for the Regan Street Youth Center. This includes the usage of the fast pitch and women's field at the Connersville Sports Complex. Signed by Jesse as the Park Superintendent and Darrell Drew as Sports and Recreation Director.
We had a committee, and Jane chaired that last year. She met with them, and I think this is her recommendation that we do it one more year, which we did it last year. Is that correct, Jane?
Yes, I think that was the agreement of the entire committee that we would try it one more year. And we did that last year. If, Ron, do you remember it being that?
I think we agreed for 1 year, yeah.
1 year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, I think so.
That was the
Right.
meeting.
I just didn't want to sign
Which
this
was
until
said,
you
but
guys put your stamp of approval on it.
I do.
I'll take a motion.
So moved. We approve.
Second.
A motion and a second that to authorize the Chairman of the Board of Works to sign this letter with Jesse to send this. Is there any discussion? Aye out there have any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Jesse. Do you have the original letter
Here.
with the 15 on it instead of 14?
No, that's right there. I'll change it.
You change it and bring it to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we have bids on a vac truck.
We have 3.
How many you got?
3.
You remember we developed specs for a new vac truck. We had 5 companies, I think, in here. We sit up there in the cold, not here like today, and watch them look at those things.
First one's from Best Equipment.
Who wants to present this? Mike or Brad, what's going to do? This is from Best Equipment, and they're Indianapolis.
Excuse me.
I was just looking to see, they also included the lease. Did you ask for that, the lease payments?
We have to.
We did, but that doesn't mean that we're necessarily going to take their lease payment.
Okay, the only thing we're going to decide on today is the truck, right?
I don't know, or we're just taking that advisement.
Yeah, we're going to take it under advisement. Okay, the bid for the Best Equipment for their truck is $250,498. Brad, you want to tell us about that truck?
I'm not sure, I haven't, of course, seen the bids, so I'd have to look and see what they,
Best Equipment. Southeastern.
Just give us the highlights of that truck, Is there anybody here representing Best Equipment?
Which one was it in the lineup out there? Do you remember?
About third, wasn't it?
I think it was in the back.
The one in
In the last one? Okay.
I'm trying to see that price.
It's on the front page, the price.
Yeah, it's throwing me a little bit, so I'm trying to see what this truck doesn't have on it. You said 250, right?
It's right on the front there,
250.
250. Yeah.
498.
Yeah, you're going to have to give me a few minutes, because there's some.
Well, I'm gonna assign this to a committee. Is this got two engines on it, front and a back engine?
This one, the back home trucks we looked at had 2 engines. But I'm not sure what this truck is yet.
Okay. Okay, I have a light proposal here from Southeastern Equipment Company. And the unit price is $290,888. It's a Model 1010, 10-yard debris tank with 1,000 gallons of water storage tanks. Anybody here representing that company, do you want to speak about your truck?
Sure, happy to. Good afternoon.
Hello?
How you doing?
Yours.
My name's Donald Miller, Southeastern Equipment Company. We're located out of Indianapolis, Indiana, at 4951 West 96th Street. Over by the pyramids, they're kind of on the northwest side of town. We represent and have a environmental division, and in the combination sewer trucks, we represent the backhaul line of equipment. The backhaul line of equipment is in a factory that is an ISO qualified unit over in New Philadelphia, Ohio. The unit is outstanding in regards to quality, manufacturing, the manufacturing process, and everything associated with the backhaul truck. We have met all specifications in regards to this truck, and we actually feel that we have exceeded the specifications. Included in the packet is a spec sheet that we received that I went ahead and answered yes, no to, as to whether we met the specifications or we didn't meet the specifications. You'll also notice that I had a column that says not applicable. And the reason I'm saying that it's not applicable is because the specifications themselves call out for a single engine or a 2-engine fan unit. The backhaul unit is actually what we classify as a PD, or a positive displacement back truck. There's 2 common standards in the industry, a fan truck and a positive displacement truck. We were here on that cold, I believe Monday afternoon, might have been in November, and we all lined our trucks up out here. And we were the one that said backhaul on it, was red and white. I believe there was another company here that also represented the positive displacement truck.
Is yours got 2 engines or 1?
1 engine.
Because that's what we asked for.
Well, in the specifications, shall consist of a, you can either have an auxiliary engine. Now you see, that's where I want to make sure we're clear on this. You got an engine that drives the truck. Then you got an engine, okay, that'll either drive the fan system, or in our case, we drive our positive displacement pump directly from the truck engine. And I talk about that in a writing that is also enclosed on page right behind my bid form 95.
Let's go back before you go there. I know you're gonna, is this 5-year extended warranty something above and beyond what you usually do? I noticed you wrote it in there.
Well, that's on the truck and cab chassis, if you'll notice. You'll notice in the bid spec that it actually calls out for a 10-year extended warranty on the engine and drivetrain. I've researched diligently through Freightliner dealers. Dahlmer is the organization that actually owns Freightliner. The maximum warranty term that Freightliner/Dahlmer will actually allow is a 5-year. So that's why I crossed through the 10-year and I say that it's a 5-year. Note, 5-year extended warranty is the maximum that's available on a Freightliner 4x2 370 horsepower cabin chassis. On the front writing, okay, attached, right the next one down, Mayor?
I got it.
You'll notice where I say I want to go in and I want to talk about the auxiliary engine and the vacuum system. The specifications, and I respectfully request for the following consideration, don't be restrictive in regards to the design features associated with both the auxiliary engine
and the vacuum system being called out currently in the Connersville Utility Department basic equipment specifications. And please do allow for open and competitive bidding process by acknowledging and accepting as an approved alternate that is equal or superior to the equipment specified for both industry standards. The fan standard is one method, which is the auxiliary fans or the positive displacement. So ours is a positive displacement. It is not a fan system. Of course, we're going to be partial, and we're going to say that it works better, it's more productive, it functions efficiently, if not more efficiently. In the bid specification itself, it actually calls out and says in the paragraph, bids will be accepted for consideration on any make or model that is equal or superior to the equipment specified. The VACOL is definitely equal to, if not superior. And I go on and I detail that we should go ahead and have the positive displacement pump, and that the blowers can be driven from the chassis engine via the transmission and heavy-duty transfer case via a direct universal drive shaft, other than using a fan system to do that.
I think when we did this, we were concerned somewhat about the noise of the operator.
Yes.
Up front. And I'm not an expert on this. I'm the first one to tell you. But anyway, it doesn't make any difference, because what I'm going to do after we open these bids and we look at them, I'm going to assign it to a committee.
Sure.
That will discuss it. They may even contact you for questions.
We look forward to that.
I'll ask them to come back in 2 weeks and give us a report what they think we're going to do. But I wanted the board to have some idea what we're talking about.
Well, we're talking about a positive displacement pump unit versus a fan unit. The noise, Mayor, I don't see being a critical issue. Then the second, I have also stated annual lease payments.
Yes.
And then down at the third line item, I have clarified the chassis and the engine warranties.
I see that.
So, based upon our bid package, I request serious consideration for the VACOL and Southeastern equipment, and look forward to the opportunity to be in contact with the committee that you so elect. We also will even have the availability to bring the truck back.
Okay,
So,
to look at it.
We'll do whatever we can do.
I know that our utility people have one thing in mind. They want the best buy for the citizens of Connersville.
Right.
That's what they're after. It's not a toy with them.
This is
I've
a work project.
Yeah, I've talked with both the directors. They're bent set on getting the best buy for the citizens of Connersville that will do the job we need to do.
VACOL and Southeastern equipment stands ready to serve.
Okay, we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I got one more, right?
Yep.
I was gonna tell you, this bid on the VACCon truck, it was basically a base truck bid, and then you add in options, and they got the cost of all the options. Some of the options are necessary.
But is the total bid the price they put on the front?
No.
That's a bid on the truck,
Okay,
the base truck.
so in other words, yours is a total bid that you
You're
get
dang right.
with all the options in it.
And then but some of these options are necessary, these are not, these are things you
So the
have to.
committee is gonna have to take that into consideration.
Right, we're just gonna have to add up all these numbers.
All right, let me have that back, Brian. Okay. Okay, this is from
There's
John
actually two different amounts of that one.
John DeHoney.
Tabs, but there's a second tab.
Okay, he's bid on two different pieces here. One is,
They're here.
you want to come up to the podium?
Sure.
So I can read this right. The law only requires that we identify the truck and read the bid price, then I can assign it to a committee to tell us, because I'm sure everyone else up here, with the exception of Jane and maybe Mr. Cold Iron, don't know much about trucks. We have experts. Brad's worked with them for 33 years, and he knows what they do and what they don't do. One is $310,450. What is that one?
That is a truck that is bid per the spec. It's a brand-new vehicle that matches the spec. The second price you'll read is what we call a demonstrator stock unit. that is in our rental fleet. We just gave you two options to look at.
And the price on it is
What was the first one?
$265,000. What year truck is that?
That would be a 2011 with low mileage on it.
Low mileage, how much does it say here?
It should have been there. If not, I can provide that.
Is the board satisfied that I've
What was
met
the
the
price
law?
of the second one?
$265, that's for the used truck,
Even?
Even.
It's a 2011.
2011.
When you say low mileage, how much, that's a very vague word.
I think 18,000 miles is all it has on it. And I can clarify those numbers for sure, so. What we do is our company we have 17 North American locations. We have a rental fleet that services North America, so some of those trucks are rentals, some of them are what we use for demonstrators to bring out to show customers, and that's what that one was, is a demonstrator unit. So
Just for clarity for the board, is it a 2-engine truck or one?
this one is a 2-engine machine.
Both the used one and the,
No, the new one is a single engine machine.
that's a fan machine.
It's a single engine fan machine, yes. This year, to get around all the emissions, Vactor changed modified the way they do the fan engines. Instead of running it from 2-engine, they up the horsepower on the single engine and run the fan from that. Vactor makes PD and fan units, so they've had the technology for single engine, and to get around the emissions and the height and the weight and all the extra room, they went with the single engine design.
I think we've satisfied the law here, John, by identifying these trucks, have we not?
Yes.
I'll pass these bids to you.
Where are you located?
We're located in Whitestown, which
Yes,
is
see it.
just north of Indianapolis.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
I beg to differ with that. I think the noise is important.
Yes.
Because we've got employees.
I agree with you.
And not only it can hurt their hearing, but it's hard for them to communicate down the sewer when that thing's making all that
I'd
noise.
like to put them side by side, that way we can get
Okay.
the sound.
But I mean, I do think that's an
I
important
agree
issue.
with the sound.
Did he split the job?
I didn't mean, Mayor, to say that the sound wasn't important.
Okay, I'm going to assign this, I've already checked. Jane is going to represent the Board of Works, and Mike are going to represent the Board of Works on this committee. The two utility directors are going to work with this. Is that adequate, Board? Is that okay with you? I can't put 3 on there, I can only put 2. Do you need anybody else?
No, I don't think so. I thought
Okay, if you could get this together, and if you have to call those trucks back in here and look at them, or you need to make a trip to look at them. Jane, you're okay with that, right?
Yep.
Jane buys school buses, has for, how many, 20 years?
20 years.
So she knows her stuff. Okay.
Look forward to working with y'all.
And Mike is very conservative. And besides, he doesn't work, we gotta give him a job.
Look forward to working with you, Mike.
Thank you.
And
Just remember the word
if
conservative.
possible, I'd like to have those back at the first meeting in February, which will be February 2nd. If possible, okay.
We will do.
Is that okay with the board? We go that way?
Yes.
Can, Your Honor, can one of the guys from utilities, Mike or Brad, can you call the meeting? Can you let us know, set us up when you want to sit down with Jane and I?
Yeah, you gotta work with Jane, because she has a big job out there at school, so.
Just let me know. Give a couple options.
And it probably has to go with Jane's schedule.
Can I ask you a question, Clerk Treasurer? On the financing, can you just do it, or do we have to take bids?
No, I think I can call and get numbers.
We don't need to bid it?
No, we don't.
Okay, all right. I noticed you've got prices in there, and then she'll look at those.
Sure.
She'll look at that. Okay. Grand Avenue Project, Strand. No, it's the first year, we got a big agenda. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming in, yes.
Mayor, the item you have before you today is the LPA consulting contract for engineering services for the Grand Avenue project. This is for the design of Grand Avenue from 24th Street to 30th Street, and it also includes a new stormwater outfall from the 24th Street intersection out to the river. We've been working for some time to get this project off the ground. This is the contract that will let us loose to get the engineering started on the project. We've been working with Diana to get through the contracting process, get through all the NDOT reviews. It has been reviewed here locally by your employee in responsible charge, who is Diana, and also by the Indiana Department of Transportation, and it's acceptable in form to them. And we're here at the Board of Works today to ask for your approval for the contract so we can move the project forward.
I actually met with the utilities, and I think, give us your prices here, will you?
Yes, sir.
We do real good with prices.
The total contract amount is $399,919. If you recall, Mayor, we had approached you originally about this project, and you were able to convince us that we could be a little more efficient, and we were able to come to a price there that seemed to work for everyone. So that is the,
It's on page one
that's
there.
the contract
I know, I'm just
amount.
kinda
It's
going
on,
through to see what's in
yeah, it's
there.
right on the front, page 1. And then also attached, I believe in your packet, were all of the man-hour justifications to come up to that amount that's required by the Indiana Department of Transportation, and that includes all of Strand's work, as well as the sub-consultants we use on the project for the environmental processes, the right-of-way processes, and the geotechnical portion of the project.
How is this to be paid?
Okay, it's an 80-20 job through NDOT. I think the utilities has a portion that they're going to pay on the local side, and then the city has a portion that they're going to pay on the local side.
Well, I
Is that
mean,
right, Dan?
what's the timetable on paying these? You're gonna start on this now, you're gonna start on this engineering.
Yep, once you give us, or once you sign the contract and we receive notice to proceed, we will start immediately. You will depending on the timing, how all that falls out, you will likely receive your first invoice. This is January. We could get started yet in January, so you could receive an invoice in February, depending on the timing when we could know.
Will that all come out of the grant, or will the city and utilities be paying part of that?
It will be an 80-20 split. It will, right from the very beginning now, the way NDOT is doing theirs, it will be an 80-20 split right from the start. There's no
On
credits on everything, correct.
Okay, so the city and the utility will owe money each time it's invoiced.
Correct.
Okay. And the reason I'm asking this question, Board of Works, we need to be able to figure out on this project where the city is going to get their money from to pay their portion. And I really believe we're going to have to ask the city council to answer that question. But we have looked at it with the utilities, and we know at this point it's about $3 million that we're going to need. It doesn't really affect this Board of Works, it doesn't affect this city council, but being fair to the next city council, the next Board of Works, in about 2017 or 18, we're going to have to come up with about $3 million. So I wanted you to be aware of that. We have to do it, we have no choice. And Julie and I have discussed it, and I'm right, we will not have the money.
Well, and it's divided between, the city pays a small portion of it. I don't remember what our part of it is.
That,
Like-
the 20% of was thrown out into a 70-30, with the utilities
Yeah.
being 70 in the prior projects. We have not done that math yet, have we?
No, we have not sat down and figured out.
But you
how
did a
we would
study,
like to
you did a study when you told us that we will not have the money, right?
That was for stormwater.
That's what I'm saying.
Looking at the stormwater.
But the city's gonna have to come up with some money too. Yep, part of
So I'm going to try to get the Board of Works and the council, I've talked to Mr. Baker about it, we're going to have to sit down in a group and figure out what direction we're going to go. John, have you worked on that any? I discussed it with you a few days ago.
No, I have not. I need to meet with you on that.
Okay. But I just want you to be aware of that when we approve this, that we're approving something we really, at this point, probably don't have the money to pay for. Which we have to do it anyway. I mean, we're mandated, we got to do this project.
Right, part of this project is part of your long-term control plan.
And this will be spread out for the next 4 years.
We've done a study on that, and even spreading it out 4 years, we got to do something to generate that money. So, any questions?
How do other cities raise the necessary funds? Do you have any idea?
How do other cities raise necessary funds? Some cities have a thoroughfare tax that's built into their city tax. Some folks are using stormwater fees to offset some of those costs. Other municipalities are just using out of their general tax rate. So there are different options out there. People are using different methodologies to come up with their 20% match, and that's just a few of them.
The last one you said is not a possibility because we're maxed out on our general fund and our tax rate.
Yeah.
That's the reason, without just coming right out and saying it, you're going to have to probably have an increase in the stormwater rate. I'm not in favor of that, but I know it's coming. I think the stormwater rate's been $5.15 on residences and it's so much a square foot on businesses. And it's been like that for how many years? Right now. How many?
2002.
2002. That amount of money in today's money will not pay the bill. Nothing we have to decide today, but I want you to be aware of that.
What does the stormwater bring in annually? The 515. Brad,
Julie?
Mike?
I don't know off the top of my head.
800,000 or 900,000.
How much?
800,000 or 900,000.
Thank you.
We couldn't take it all out of that, could we? I mean, we just couldn't drain the fund.
There's not, there won't be enough there.
No, that's what I mean.
We've already done a study. There won't be enough there. But anyway, that's not the issue here. I just want you to be aware of it because you're approving something that down the road they're going to have to pay for. But we have to do it. So. Further discussion? Any discussion or any questions?
On this, this 80-20 match, Donnie, you're saying that 20% then is split 70-30 between the utility and the city?
Correct.
So we're looking at $80,000 that's gonna be split on a 70-30 balance or somewhere, so.
I
that's-
haven't done the exact math, but I'm sure.
Okay, I just wanna make sure I'm
For the
understanding that.
engineering part of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, this is just engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the total project is more like,
Is this the very best you can do on the numbers?
I thought we did pretty good the first time we came in, and then we adjusted them for the mayor from there. So, yes, sir.
Mike,
This
I had
is-
him on the floor with both hands behind his back, and I had duct tape under his mouth, and I still couldn't get him any lower.
So looking at the engineering part, then the city would be responsible for around 25,000 a day. That's what, roughly.
And that will be spread out. I mean, they're gonna be
Yeah,
doing
that part
work
will
for the next
Go right up
2.5
to
to 3
construction,
years.
so,
Yeah.
So that
We're looking
one-
at 2018 construction.
Yeah.
So that's split, that's actually phased out in that
Correct.
3 or 4 year
Spread
period?
out over that period of time.
Correct.
So there won't be a set number, if that's gonna be a floating number, correct? Depending on the amount of
Well,
work
the
you do, or?
number's set,
the number's
it's just,
set.
It's
the
the
number's
payments are
set,
spread
it's
out.
just
It's
the
just paid
payments
out.
will be spread out.
Between now and the time the contract's let, we're gonna spend $398,000. That's the way it is.
Okay, this is fine.
Okay? It's that money beyond there that we have to take out of stormwater that worries me. And it's just, I can guarantee it's not there. But we can make it be there, but we're gonna have to work with the city council to get it done. You understand, Diana?
This project is roughly about $1 million local match over the whole entire project, wasn't it, Steve? Very
Yeah,
close.
when you take into consideration the engineering, you're part of the engineering, you're part of any right-of-way, and the non-participating items in the construction project, as well as your match.
Right, because when we get to the construction part of the project, we'll be going into a 60-40 match because of the outfall of the river will be all local part of that match.
And it's a streetscape up Western Avenue, or up Grand Avenue. If it was just a sewer project, it
It
would
would all come out of stormwater.
Right.
Yeah.
Since it's a streetscape,
And
part of it's
it
gotta
has
come
to be a
from city.
continuation of the 20 to 24th Street project.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I didn't mean to labor, I just want you to be aware of it. I don't want it to do that in 2018 and they'll say, oh, those dummies back there, didn't they know they didn't have the money and they approved this, you know? No, we're approving something we don't have the money for, but we know it's gotta be done.
I move we pass this thing. This Grand Avenue project with Stranger Engineering for the Grand Avenue, 24th to 30th.
I'll second.
Motion and a second, we approve the engineering to move forward. It's $399,000.
9,900 and, he's just eating it off to 400.
Yeah.
By the way,
You ruined my
Easy to
day.
figure.
You ruined my day, because I told him, it's gotta get under 400,000.
Well, they made that much.
Okay. Any further discussion? Well, roll call vote.
Jane Oakley,
Yes.
Fran Schomel.
Yes.
Leonard Urban.
Yes.
Mike Bishop,
Yes.
Ron Coldiron.
Yes.
You have passed that. We're ready to start the engineering phase of this thing.
Thank you, Mayor, thank you, board.
Thank
you.
Are you leaving or are you gonna stay a while?
I'll stick around.
I need to talk to you.
Yes, sir.
Resolution 2015-01, this is transfer and cable, and Resolution 2015-02 is a transfer and cable. I'd like to do them together if we can. I think this is finishing up the bathroom, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. You know, we have our own bathroom over in our own part of the building now, and it's very nice. Fran, you've inspected it.
It's a restroom, it's not a bathroom.
Restroom, yeah, we can't take a bath up there, no.
No, I don't think so.
But it is a
I didn't
nice-
see any facilities for that.
It is a nice restroom.
Yes. Yes.
What's your pleasure?
I move we have passed resolutions 2015-1 and 2.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Departments, utilities first. Mike?
Is the service warranty?
Yes.
Okay, that's first, I guess. Yeah, 'cause I'm not for sure.
Okay.
Something I can talk to you about.
No, I think I'm not.
Okay.
First off, I'd just like to thank the mayor and the board for allowing me a few minutes to come here today. Explain to you a little bit about the National League of Cities and their service line warranty program. I had met with Mayor Urban back in November and kind of presented this to him, and just kind of wanted to go over with you. What I'd like to do is just give you a brief overview and then answer any questions for you. And the reason the National League of Cities has gotten involved in a program like this is they understand the age of the infrastructure throughout the United States just keeps getting older and older, especially when it comes to water and sewer lines. And while cities are doing their part to maintain their water and sewer lines, making sure they're flowing and repairing them, you have these miles and miles of lines that are on your residence property that really nobody's doing anything about. And one of the big issues is when the resident has a broken water line or a clogged sewer line, a lot of times their first call will be to you. You guys will send someone out to make sure your line's working properly, and then you're stuck having to be the bearer of bad news to tell the resident, hey, this is something you're responsible for, you're gonna have to find a contractor and you're gonna have to get it fixed. So that's kind of where this program comes in. There's two goals to it. First off is just to educate your residents on what their responsibilities are when it comes to their lateral sewer and water lines. And then secondly is to offer them an optional warranty to protect these lines for when they have issues. Now this is a full turnkey program for the city. We handle all the marketing, the billing, their customer service and the claims, and there's no cost or anything for the city to participate. Another benefit of the program is that all work is done by local contractors, so it's a Connorsville plumber that would be getting all the work. Also, all the work's guaranteed to be fixed to code, all permits will be pulled and all that sort of thing. And basically for the resident, what it covers is it's everything from the point of entry to their house and the sewer line all the way up to where it connects to the main, and same thing with the water line. And that'll cover everything from just a simple clean out of tree roots all the way up to a full replacement of line, replacing any concrete that's been disturbed or any of that sort of thing. Now the program's done on, we don't do telemarketing or door-to-door sales, everything's done through a direct mail campaign, and that's that educational letter. Basically, we mail that to your residents twice a year, once in March and once in September. And that'll just go over, what their responsibilities are, issues that can happen, and then it'll offer them the warranty. As for the warranty for the residents, it runs them for the sewer line, it's about $7.75 per month. For the water line, it's $5.75.
And then if they choose to pay by the year, we give them a 10% discount. So it works out to be about $7 and about $5.25. Currently, there's over 250 cities that are participating in this program throughout the country. It's been very successsul in helping cities to replace some of these lines and helping to eliminate any kind of frustrations that the residents have when they can't afford to hire these contractors. So that's kind of the short overview of it, and just like to answer any questions.
We've talked with cities that got it in place. It's very well accepted. I heard no negative. I asked the two directors, and they researched it. I think they're both in favor. It seems like it's a win-win for everybody. Yeah, just like buying insurance on anything else, you buy this insurance, you have a problem, it's taken care of. Relieves the city of having, as he said, to be the bearer of bad news. Hey, it's bad news, but you've got insurance. We do have to endorse it, and that's what we're doing today. If you allow me, I will sign it and we'll endorse it. Basically, that's it. Questions?
How are the people notified that this is available?
We basically, if the city decides to participate in March, before it goes out, the letter will go to the mayor. You guys will have the opportunity to review it, and then that'll get mailed to every single one of your homeowners.
I see.
And then they'll have a chance to review it and read it. There's a 1-800 number that answers 24 hours a day too, because we get a lot of questions. So we can answer questions for the residents and that sort of thing. But that's kind of the notification. Is twice a year we'll do that mailing for you.
Okay, thanks.
So you can join anytime you want to.
Correct, and they can join anytime they want, but we'll
That's-
we'll offer it that twice a year.
Just to make that
Yeah.
clear in the paper, it is optional.
Yeah, it's
So we don't get
completely
bombarded
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
not something, when the city decides to participate, it's just another service that your residents have available, but it's not something they have to do.
Ronnie, what would it cost to put a new water line in the average house?
Is it $1,200?
That's exactly right.
And what would it cost to put a new sewer line in an average house?
Probably close to $1,500-1,600.
So there's what your insurance
One
is.
thing I'd like to, you mentioned city infrastructure. This really has nothing to do with the city infrastructure. It's private lines on private property, which is, and that's what you're insuring. It
That's
has
what we're-
nothing to do with Mike's lines.
No, correct.
What he was stressing is the lines the city owns are old, and the lines in our houses are old.
I knew that. I just wanted people to understand what he was talking about. Yeah.
But again, the coverage goes from the connect to the house to the connect to the city.
Correct, so where the city, and that's kind of how the program, came about, is the city maintains their lines, and then you have homeowners insurance to cover anything inside your house, but there's that line from where it enters your house all the way to the city that there's no coverage for, so residents are stuck with that when they have any kind of issues.
Really, I think it's an ideal program. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't want it, especially with, if you lived in a new subdivision, maybe not, but, we're not, the percentage of our residents are not new subdivision. And we have a lot of hills here too, so a lot of, in other words, excavating in some of these houses gets to be a chore.
Are you making a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion to accept, what do we do? Approve
Endorse the program.
Endorse the program? Yeah, okay.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to endorse the program, the National League of Cities Service Line Warranty Program. That's the official name of it. Any further discussion? Have a roll call vote.
Jane Oakley?
Yes.
Fran Schomel?
Yes.
Leonard Urban?
Yes.
Mike Bishop?
Yes.
Ron Coldiron?
Yes.
We're ready.
All right,
Whatever it
guys,
takes.
we'll be in contact with you.
Thank you so
very
much.
much.
Great day.
Appreciate you coming back.
Thank you.
You have a card.
Actually, I'll leave these with you guys too.
Yeah,
This is just, there's a card in every one of those, and there's a
Thank
lot of
you.
information. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, utility report, there's a little bit to it today. One of the things started last fall was the employee handbooks. We noticed that they haven't been updated since 2000, and after looking through them, there's some language that needed to be changed, so we didn't even pass them out to our new employees that we hired. So we spent last month updating them, and basically, there's a union handbook and a non-union handbook. And some of the simple stuff we did, we replaced all the utility boards with Board of Works, office manager with utility manager. The health insurance stated it was still $1 a year, and we had to redo the sick leave benefits was wrong also. Then there's some other simple language throughout the handbook that we changed. But I guess we need to approve the handbook so I can hand it out.
Both these handbooks now match the salary ordinances that are in effect for 2015, right?
Yeah. Matter of fact, the sick and the health insurance copied right out of the,
And there's disclaimers throughout the handbook that says this is not a contract, and this is just a book of guidelines.
yes.
Okay. John, did you look them over?
Yes, I've read them both.
You agree that they're in order?
Yeah, I think so, yes.
I really appreciate the two utility directors. They spent a lot of time on this.
They
bringing
did,
us up to
Mayor.
date.
I can concur that
And,
they did.
From here on out, they'll only have to make changes when necessary. And I hope they keep up with the city council in their changes. I need a motion to accept these handbooks and to put them into practice. And I presume you'll pass them out to each
Yeah, we'll give
employee.
it to the new employees that was just hired, and we'll put a copy at all their buildings. for
I'll make the motion, Your Honor, that we accept these handbooks for the bargaining employees and non-bargaining employees. It has been updated for 2015 for Connersville Utility.
Second?
I'll second it.
Okay, I got a second over here. Any discussion? Any discussion at all? Jane, did you get a chance to look at them?
I gave it a quick read. I didn't get real intense with it, but, because that's a lot to take in
A lot of
2
reading.
days, so.
Much reading.
It was a little difficult to compare with the old one because it didn't have the old one, / what did we take out, what did we change? So I just read it as a brand new document, so.
Basically,
yeah.
Anybody out there have any comment? Anybody from the utilities? Okay, we have a motion on the floor to accept these two handbooks. There's no other discussion. I'll call for the question, a roll call vote.
Jane Oakley,
Yes.
Fran Shomel,
Yes.
Leonard Urban.
Yes.
Mike Bishop.
Yes.
Ron Coldiron.
Yes.
Those are in effect. I think that's the right move in the right direction.
Okay, the other thing we updated was the rules of conduct. They haven't been updated since 1996. And so we updated those. A lot of it is, some of the things we've changed, some of the old rules was water and wastewater plants. When they had a night crew, we don't have a night crew anymore. It was 8 pages. We condensed it down to 3. Just a little more clearer, a little bit easier to read, and not so much paperwork.
Does this meet the union contract?
Yes.
It has to.
Yeah, and I have sent a copy to Mr. Fox of these.
They can challenge it if they want to,
Yes.
but it meets compliance. I mean, it's,
Just getting their house in order is what they're doing over there. It's been let go for a long time.
I move we approve the rules of conduct for Connors Utilities as revised on January 20th, 2015.
I'll second.
Motion and a second to approve the rules of conduct for Connors Utilities. This is both union and non-union, right? Or is this just union?
Both.
Both.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's connected together.
All right. Have a roll call vote. Is there any discussion, any further discussion?
Jane Oakley,
Yes.
Fran Shomel.
Yes.
Leonard Urban.
Yes.
Mike Bishop.
yes.
Ron Coldiron.
Yes.
Yeah, approve that unanimously. Thank you. Mike, we appreciate that.
Okay. The other item is our MS4 contract. I sign one each year. This year I got 2 quotes. I just laid the Wessler out. I didn't have it ready when we handed out the packets. But we got 2 quotes, one from Wessler's, one from Strand. Wessler's was a little lower on their quote, $15,000, and Strand was $16,700. I guess I recommend that we continue using Wessler. They have been our MS4 advisor for the past, I'm not for sure, 5, 6, 7 years. We like the people that come down and help us out, and I'd like to approve Wessler as our MS4 engineer this year.
That's what you're recommending to us?
Yeah.
Okay. We've got 2 quotes, and he recommends that we stick with Wessler. They've been doing it. Is there any discussion before we have a motion here?
On Wessler's, I just wanted to double check. I just want to make sure that everybody does know that both the contracts did, on their cost,
It was laid out here.
did say not to exceed that amount.
Not to exceed.
It does say in black and white, not to exceed 16,700 or 15.
According to Wessler, they have never exceeded that number, but I'm just going by her word, I'm not for sure. She said that they've never exceeded the number they had on the contract. This is a very important year because we have the good housekeeping audit coming up, so it's important that we, I think, stick with people that's been helping us out with this.
And knowledgeable of it.
Yes.
Yes. I move we approve the contract with Westler for the
Second.
US4 contract.
Motion and second, we accept the contract with Westlers for $15,000, is that what that is?
Yes, not to exceed
Not to
15.
exceed.
Not to exceed
Not to exceed,
15,000.
yes.
I think that's about what it was last year.
Yeah, I think it was close.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried. What else you got?
Okay, the other thing is our year-end report. Try to make it as simple as possible. You'll get another report from the wastewater plant that they always do every year, but this is kind of an overall report for both areas. And I won't go through every page, hopefully you look through them. But, you know, page 3, just, that's our utility staffing. That's what we have personnel-wise throughout the company. Let's see. Page 5, just a definition of the MS4 program, what it's all about. Sometimes we throw these terms up, MS4s and wellhead protection, but that's what it's all about. Page 6 and 7 is just the department highlights over the year. I wasn't here first half of the year, so Brad helped me out a little bit on some of the highlights of the departments throughout the whole year. And on the bottom of the page is our pre-treatment program. Tells a little bit about the pre-treatment, what Aaron is doing. That's another one of those programs that you hear a lot, but maybe not for sure exactly what's happening with it. Then we go into page 8 and 9. This is a detailed listing of our work orders for 2014. We had 1,960 work orders. Those actually ran through the office, and it's more detailed. In the month of December, we had 51 work orders just for the month of December. Then some other reports, something I don't really give out every time is the mileage report. It's 3 pages, we got a bunch of vehicles. The highlighted is vehicles that are no longer in service, that we've gotten rid of. But guess if you're bored, you look through that. Then our other regular reports, our overtime report for the year, $107,000 was our overtime for the whole year 2014. There is a little graph. We're hoping we keep those numbers down this year. And the one thing we don't have to worry about, probably the installing meters. That was a big jump.
That was authorized overtime because we had a bid from the company to install those meters. And we did it cheaper with our own people.
So that number should go down just because of that, but we're off to a bad start already with 3rd Street, so. That's the overtime report, and the next page is our fund balance for the year, the revenue for the year, and how much money we spent in those departments. And stormwater, someone mentioned stormwater. We collect anywhere from $70,000 to $80,000 a month in stormwater, depends on, I guess, the month and how the payments are brought into utilities. But balances look pretty good for the year. Like that, the stormwater balance is 1.7, that's going to go down as the year goes with this new project. And the only other thing is, something I threw in at the end, is the estimated cost and time frame of all these stormwater separation projects. Kind of gives a time frame, estimated cost, and when all this is going to be completed. You know, when everything's done, it's about a $14 million project for all these separation projects. But they should be done 2027. But it's just something, you know, to look at, see what's coming. Gives a time frame. And the rest of the report is just our budget, our estimated budget, what we're hoping to come through. Like I said, we'll probably adjust that as the year goes. The more familiar, I mean, this report was more for me than anybody, just to go over everything with utilities, and I learned a lot doing the report, so. I guess, is there any questions?
It's a good report.
Yeah, excellent report, Mike. You and Brad to be congratulated and all the people that helped you on it.
Fran, you've been on here for years. You've been on city council. I served 4 years city council. I did 7 years mayor. This is the best report I've ever seen.
Absolutely. I could never get a budget from them.
This is, you're to be, both of you are to be commended.
Yes.
I don't know how we could do any better. What do you say, Clerk Treasurer? Have you ever seen a report like that?
No.
You can read it, you can understand it, and it's to the point. Thank you.
We got a new report today. I was driving Brad crazy this morning to show that everything we bought for the whole year 2014 by categories. And Brad, what's this? What's that? So learned a lot this morning going through all that. I wish I had that when I did my budget, but that's what I'm saying. They'll probably adjust as we go. So there's always lots of reports over there. Me and Mr. Bishop have been trying to find this one report for what, 2 months now. So
I really appreciate what you guys have done. It's amazing to me.
we'll have a lot of help, so.
Keep up the good work, so I can
Well,
say.
thanks.
Any other questions for the utilities? Let's see, what do we got? Fire chief? Come on up. We solve problems.
Yes and no.
Yeah, I have a boiler problem going on over at the firehouse. A recirculating pump's going out. So I got a quote from one of the electric companies, and I had Ron come over. Got a quote from K&K. Their quote was $980 to fix it, a new pump on it.
So one of them little red pumps pumps the water around the building?
No, it's larger than that. It's a commercial. It's a whole inline. It's a 1-horse pump, coast couple pump. It's a Burke's pump. It's not a V&G. It's a little bigger than what you're used to seeing.
Okay. What's the purpose? That's why it's.
Certainly, the whole system. I'm sorry.
It does the whole system?
Does the whole system.
And then it's divided off in sections according to thermostat?
Well, it's probably got zone valves.
Yeah. That pump is shot?
It's the bearings in the motor. It's the
Okay.
bearings. The bearings
Can't
are
be
gone.
replaced?
No. It's you know, you need to check and make sure what he's replacing there, because it's a very good price. And when he takes that thing apart, you're probably gonna lose your seal. There might be some impeller damage there too.
Is that Station 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty loud over there.
What'd you say, it's $900?
Yeah, $980.
You say that's a good price?
That's a very good price.
Did you quote on it?
I looked at it. There's no need to me quoting it. Just to be honest with you.
Plus it's local, right? Local people doing it.
That's a good price.
That's a good price. Well,
That's
Ronnie says it's a good price, and there's no need for him to quote.
Yeah.
I make a motion, we go ahead and get the pump, fix it.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Fix it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Troy.
Got wood heat over there now then?
It's still going.
It's
but
working. It's just gonna go out.
Remember, there can't have no fire in the city.
Just get one of the guys to put a pump on it.
Who else is left here?
The two Daves.
Dave?
Dave, did you have a,
Dave?
I don't have anything.
okay.
The Dave and Dave's.
Where's your taser thing? You got them all done? Still
No,
waiting?
the guys are going through training right now, so if they have to be trained, then they'll get issued.
So everything's here?
Yes, they're all here. I think they're waiting on one other item, like some extra batteries or something.
How many we buy total, chief?
20.
20.
20.
So anything to report in the mayor's office?
It's all good.
It's not what you said before we came over here. Anything else?
The truck signs are up, aren't they, on Western?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they are, and I saw some big trucks. You better be telling your guy, I saw some big trucks going down through there. Anybody want to do claims?
I'll do.
Wait a minute, we got old business. Any old business? None appearing. Miscellaneous business? I think we done that. Claims.
Utilities, excuse me. Water was $84,311.55. Sewer was $81,999.81. Stormwater was $2,773. Trash was $59,186 for a total of $228,270.96.
City claims 216 and the amount of money $162,700. $705.86. Some of the bigger ones were $10,000 to Fayette County for the 911, our contribution toward the expenses of running 911. The Miller Building bond was $34,400 that we paid off. And those were a couple of the large ones. $21,299 went to landfill for general trash. $10,000 went for tasers, and $13,719 went for tasers, so
Here's part of that, the 13,000 was a restricted donation from the foundation.
Oh, okay, thanks, okay. Okay, that's pretty well explains some of the larger ones that we paid in the last 2 weeks.
I move we accept the claims as they've been presented, including payroll.
Claims, got a motion to accept.
I'll second. Nobody else?
Got a second. Any further discussion? Anybody out there? All in favor? Well, I think roll call vote, I guess it's a lot of money.
Jane Oakley?
Yes.
Fran Schomel?
Yes.
Leonard Urban?
Yes.
Mike Bishop?
Yes.
Ron Coldiron?
Yes.
Motion carries, and the claims will be paid. Public forum, anybody left from the public? You're the only public left. None appearing, take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Oh, what it is.
Meeting adjourned.